Hello, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I want to say a very big shout out to every one of you for all the support you all give me here on my backup channel. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. So today I will be showing you something really very important, and there is one thing I love about this Asian woman. Once you see her, you know she's up for, like, lecturing and all that, and she is just so good at it. And there was a question, they asked her a question about Black community, right? And they asked her, okay, riddle me this. Do you know why there is this effort to keep Black people from building their communities, owning businesses, etc.? And you know what? She actually came through with the explanation, and a lot of people were able to tag this video. And the most important thing about this video is actually the stitches, because everybody came all out supporting Black people, supporting like Black community, and also giving their 2 cents about what they think and what Black people have been through and still going through. You know what? Stay to the screen. Let me roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and let me know what you all think in the comment section. So straight up, let me roll the.
Thank you for setting me up to talk about this. I know that you and many other Black people know the answer, but it is something that I'm still processing, and it hits me really hard in the gut. And so I want people to understand that I am answering the question, what do I know? I'm not speaking for anyone. Many commenters today have pointed out how many affluent Black towns have been created and destroyed throughout United States history. And most non-Black people know about the Tulsa Massacre, Black Wall Street, Lake Lanier, but it was many Black towns. One commenter said over 60. And it's not that some Black people sometimes were able to establish a successful community that accumulated wealth. It's that Black people were consistently able to go anywhere and together establish strong communities that accumulated wealth and had education systems and businesses and were thriving. And every time it happened, people destroyed them. And then as you progress through time, it becomes less acceptable to burn and flood and massacre entire towns. So again, you have the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and the United States opens the door to Asian immigration in 1965. The United States has a long history of using immigrants to get in the way of Black people. And so I think that this system of using immigrant-owned businesses in Black communities is designed to siphon wealth away from Black communities. And another commenter asked me, why do I think that people are afraid of letting Black people build their communities and accumulate wealth and to thrive? And we see it so many times. It's because they fear revenge, because they know what they have done to Black people. But again, we have been told that if Black people wanted revenge, it would have happened already. That is not what they want. And I think that people think that the violence and exploitation and abuse of power that they have exacted upon Black people and all Black, brown, indigenous, and people of color is a universal human trait, and that if anybody has that wealth and power, then they would return that evil in kind. But it's not. It is specific to, and all Black people want is to be allowed to thrive and accumulate wealth and exist as other people have been allowed to do. And again, please understand that I am answering the question, what do I think that I know?
All right, so before the stitches are so important, so do not miss out the stitches for anything, because a lot of people actually came out to, like, also contribute to their, like, say their own. I have done something like this, but these are different stitches entirely. I mean, people really came all out. And now I want to say something. The fact that Black people are ready to move anywhere, to start all over, says so many things. Says how hard they work, tells you that they are hustlers, like they are ready to work hard and, like, fend for themselves. So each time I hear people say black people are lazy, I look at them like, you know nuts. You don't know black people, because if you know the black people that I know, they work hard and they are hard workers. And not just only hard workers, they work smart too. You know what? Let's get into the stitches. So straight up, here we go.
Affluent black towns have been created and destroyed throughout United. Okay, so a mutual of mine sent me this video, and I want to talk about reparations. Reparations now. This is one of countless reasons and examples for our government to start running those checks. Now, if you were on TikTok over the weekend, you probably saw that lovely piece of work from some older Southern white woman saying, people of color want reparations, and nobody alive today was enslaved or enslaved. It was truly a historically genius piece of work, and sadly isn't available anymore. But I wanted to speak to that, because there she is talking about enslavement and slavery. But let's talk about Jim Crow. Let's talk about the new Jim Crow. Let's talk about mass incarceration. Let's talk about in this video, I hope you went and watched it, where she talks about as many as 60 thriving communities, black communities that were thriving, that were raised by white people. Let's talk about, and trigger warning for racial violence, racial terrorism, redlining, redistricting, racist housing policies. People want to act like we're talking about reparations for just slavery. It's reparations for the ongoing and continued terrorism against black people. The United States has a long history of using immigrants to get in the way of black people.
First of all, go back and watch that video. I want to thank this creator for shedding history and giving a broad explanation of the state of black Americans today and all the work that's been done to keep us where we are. I learned early in my career, after becoming friends with one of my coworkers from India and another one from Nigeria, that the foreigners that were coming to this country shared the same stereotypical views of some of the non-black Americans that exist here today. And if you know, you know, as a black person, when you're going into these corporate environments, you take it on as a duty to dispel these stereotypical views by your work ethic, your intelligence, your integrity, and your professionalism. I think that social media has been a great source of black history. I wish I had it when I was younger. I used to do a lot of research, specifically within my own family, because I wanted to uncover the black excellence that I knew was there. I knew we had did some great things. I just was indoctrinated from school and from society. So even some of my views, when I go back to the way my views were back then, were very naive from what I know now as far as black history goes. Also, I believe TikTok has been a great source of a lot of the information that I've learned. So I understand why they want to ban it. They do not want us to know about the black excellence that we have had. Our black excellence and the origins that we have actually come from. So I want to say that with everything that's going on in the United States, I think it's time for us as a black community to pull all of our children out of these indoctrinated schools and begin homeschooling, and do it at a level that is orchestrated and also at a level that is not so public, because we know what they do to us when they realize we are making these gains. But we cannot stop at where we are now. If they ban TikTok, we really need to figure out a way to keep this going. We got to make sure that we continue the trajectory we are on to reclaim our place in this society, because we know we come from royalty. let's stay connected.
It is specific to.
I really love this content creator and her ability to dismantle white supremacy and white supremacist rhetoric. What she is saying here, there was a few subjects within this video, so please go back and watch it. But in this particular part that I'm stitching, she talks about how white people are afraid that in this instance black people will seek retribution if they are successful, if they become successful, that they will treat white people how white people treated black people. And the same thing is happening here in Aotearoa, where there is a tour currently happening going around our country that is against co-governance. And they are attracting a lot of old white people because those old white people have assets that originally belonged to Māori, namely land. And what that content creator was saying was that their violence, white violence, is specific to white people. And it is. Because there are Māori, tangata whenua, who are affluent, who do have money, who are successful, and are not out to get every single Pākehā that exists and treat them as Pākehā have treated our ancestors and us to this day. One thing I often talk about in safe spaces is that the reason why we as Māori do not treat Pākehā the way that they have treated us is because we have a deeper connection to who we are and our environment. Because we have tikanga and kawa, these are the things that uphold our Māori values. They keep us accountable, they keep us responsible in the name of our iwi, our hapu, and our whānau. And the reason why Pākehā or white people have such a propensity for violence is because they don't have those value systems. And if I'm not talking about you, then I'm not talking about you, so don't tone police me. The thing you fear happening to you is what you imagine doing yourself, but we're not you.
All right, so this is all I was able to gather from the stitches, and really, I absolutely want to read your comments. Like I keep saying, like, reparation that black people are even asking for is not just for slavery, because to this very moment, the slavery is still going on. And all the things black people built, that they destroyed, until this very moment, still destroying, and the rest of it. I mean, it is time for them to cut that check, and they should stop telling stories about cutting that check. Thank you all so much for all the support. I really do appreciate you all. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.